we haven't really spent any time or energy in taking care of our minds. And we're starting to see that it's taking a toll on our bodies and it's taking a toll on our relationships. We're getting, a lot of us get snappy because we're stressed with the people we love, or we're just not present with them. We're thinking. And so we need to train ourselves to get a little less in our head, to get out of our heads and kind of into our lives, to be honest. So mindfulness training is the best way forward. So for me, actually, stopping on a dime and practicing mindfulness was very, very challenging because I had a very busy mind. And at first it was too difficult. In fact, the only way I could meditate was through my yoga practice. So yoga combines movement and breath. The breath and the movement calm the body, and by the time you're finished yoga, your body is relaxed. So then I could get into my mind. So then meditation was possible for me. So that's how I found my way in, but through the years I realized that there are some little practices that you can do. It doesn't have to be a full yoga practice. It can be a very quick calming exercise that can prepare you to sit down for 5 or 10 minutes of mindfulness. We're not trying to stop our mind. We're not trying to stop thoughts. We're not trying to change our thoughts. We're not trying to rework our thoughts. We're actually trying to focus and pay attention to our thoughts. At first, when you start, you're just training attention, period. You're just focusing on something so that you can learn to focus your brain on something, and every time it wanders, you just bring it back. It wanders, you bring it back. That can happen 100 times, and all you're to do is just bring it back to the object that you're focusing on, which tends to just be the movement of the breath. And the reason we pick the breath is because it's just there with us all the time, so it's kind of easy. It's not about the breath, it's just our anchor. So all you're doing is training attention, and then after you've practiced for a wee bit, then you can start noticing the thoughts that are running through your head that are taking you away. So you can even label it. So you're focusing on your breath, and you start going down a storyline that's happening in your head, and you go, oh, I'm thinking. So you can just name it thinking and come back to your breath and start again. And you do that over and over and over again. And slowly what you'll find is you will get a little more still in your mind, and you'll learn to see the patterns that are happening in your mind, like the thoughts that tend to come into your mind, and they start to lose their power over you. So it's not that you're stopping thinking, but you're becoming more aware of how your mind actually is functioning, and you can learn to choose to follow the thought or not. So you gain power by doing that. And then there's also another part to mindfulness, because it's all about living mindfully, living in the present moment, living as life unfolds. So we also add in during the day moments when, say, you're sitting there as you are now holding your tea. Instead of, you might be thinking or thinking about something, or your mind might be wandering on some subject, and just taking 30 seconds to actually hold the cup, feel what it feels like to hold the cup, feel the warmth in your hand, and take a sip and notice what that actually tastes like. So just being in moments here or there, and the more we train you to be more present in your life as life is happening, the more presence you'll have in your life. So there's the mindful practice, the training ground where you learn to pay attention, and then there's the mindful living where you're adding or you're paying more attention to the moments you actually are living in.